Oh man, I would be such a bad YouTuber because like this whole like talking into a camera and watching myself talk thing is so awkward. Yeah. So anyway, Easter changes everything, and I'm living proof. Now, what I mean by everything is when a person takes what Easter implies, the implication of the holiday of Easter, and takes it to heart, it changes your priorities. It changes your fears. It changes your worries. Or rather, it takes that laundry list of fears and worries that you might have and makes it really small. Um, it changes just your whole approach to life and relationships and how to deal with other people. But I think personally, the biggest thing that it really changed for me, which is an odd thing, is direction, a purpose in life. Before getting to know Jesus and putting my faith in Him, I didn't really have a direction in life at all. I got saved when I was 21. I grew up going to Catholic Mass on Christmas and a Baptist church on Easter, but in between them, not a whole lot of spiritual input in my life. But I did come to understand that God existed. His book is the Bible. He's got 10 commandments, and if you break any one of them, you go to hell. Which really rattled me when I realized that because I realized that I did not attain this standard of perfection that he had set in the Ten Commandments, which to me was kind of mind blowing because as a millennial, I lived a life that I think most fellow millennials would find pretty boring. I never got into drugs. I didn't get into a whole lot of alcohol. I wasn't promiscuous. Shoot, I didn't even cuss really. Now my language wasn't perfect, but that's the whole thing. Like, I wasn't perfect, and because of that imperfection, I knew that I was going to go to hell. I was going to miss out on eternal paradise with God because I had failed at a couple points in my life. I really had a problem with the Lord because of this. And a couple of other things that I heard were in the Bible. But the thing is, I never thought, for some reason, to go in and check it out myself. And any time that I tried to read the Bible, well, I started in Genesis and just didn't understand anything that was going on. So, uh, you know, but that I wasn't necessarily looking for the answers to those questions. I was, again, just trying to be a moral person, trying to earn my way into heaven, knowing that it wasn't going to work. And so here I am, aimless, mad at the Lord, not understanding why He won't let me into heaven. And so at 21 years old, around then, sometime, I was invited to go to a young adult Bible study at Calvary Chapel, Bakersfield. I hadn't been to a Bible study, I think maybe in 10, 15 years, something like that. And but I don't know, something about it. I think it was just having people my age and meeting new folks appealed to me. So I was like, okay, well, I've got some free time. It's a Sunday night. It's not Saturday night, so I think I'll go ahead and go. When I got there, they did this interesting thing that like I had never really seen done before, and that was they took the Bible and they opened it and they read it and then they studied it within the context of itself. And wouldn't you know, I saw why I wouldn't get into heaven on my own merit, but I also saw the gospel, and that was the fact that yes, God exists, yes, He has the 10 Commandments, but also He came to earth, lived a perfect life without sinning like I did, and He was crucified for the specific purpose of taking all of those things that I did that merit punishment by a good, righteous, holy God. All those things that I did and anyone else had done that merit punishment, He took that on Himself at the cross on our behalf so that we could go free without having to be punished if we would believe in Him. And then just to prove that he was who he was and you can believe what he said. He's the only human in history to ever die for 3 days and come back to life. Anyone who can do that, I think, should be listened to and be taken very, very seriously. And so if the person who accomplished that says that I can be right with God through him, I believe him. And that ultimately changed the entire course and direction of my life. Again, giving me direction. So not only did I see the gospel there and see why and how I could be saved and not saved from hell and go to heaven, but I also saw a purpose and a plan for my life. Like now I understand that my purpose in life is to glorify God. I understand that my purpose is to help other people get to know him so that they can be saved just like I was and find their purpose just like I have. And so, anyway, that's how Easter changed everything for me and how it pretty much changes everything for anyone who would believe.